I'm Todd Bass with
Joel.
And Mark.
Okay, so let's recap last week. I was 4-1 in college, and let me tell you, my gold 5-star pick of Iowa on that under came right on through for me at 22-0 Iowa winning, and it went under, what was it, 28.5?
Yeah,
28.5. Beautiful. That's where I laid my real money. But I'm going to show you guys something different and what we are about. And remember, we're very new. This is our third podcast. Hey, subscribe. You may make some money because the big games are coming up next week. And we're doing our podcast, it's coming out Wednesday? It's going to come out Wednesday.
Oh, next week's?
Yeah, because of Thanksgiving.
Sure. Yeah, we'll get that ahead of the Thanksgiving games.
Right. So we'll have Thanksgiving games and we'll have some pro games, college games, but it's all about making money. And I'm going to show you something right now. I call this my single unit system, but it only is about people that don't necessarily want to just have fun, but they want to make consistent money. You take the same unit of money, the same unit. So let's take $100 of my picks last week. I was 4-1 in college, and I was 1-2 in NFL. NFL seems like a twilight zone this year, and you'll hear something about that in a few minutes. But the single unit system is you take $100 or whatever your unit is, and you bet that straight on every single bet that you're making. You do not parlay, you do not trick the bet, you do not buy points. I like to buy points. I believe that 35% of the time buying points, couple here, couple there, will make you money. But you're also using juice, and so the juice, of course, is that percentage. Using a $100 unit, you have $10 as juice on each bet. This is what I would have made, or you would have made, if you bet my games. So you would have bet 5 games in college, 3 games in pro, losing, winning, juice, you still would have made $170 on betting $100 per game. So that is my single unit system. But I don't just do that. There's 5-star games that I know are going to hit. There's parlays sometimes, if you're a gambler, that will make us money. So let's get into the games.
Yes.
Friday night. Let's hear it, Joel. What do you think of that CU game? Let's hear about it.
Well, as a Buff alumni, obviously, CU's going to win by like 17 touchdowns.
At least.
Yeah, at least, right? I do like them, though. 4 points, I think they keep it close at
It went
least.
to 4? It was at 5.5 a day ago.
Okay, well, it is.
It was at 5.5.
Yeah, it's 4.
Okay, so...
I like CU and the under as well. 62.5 is a big number.
So CU's getting 4.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to say something about that line movement. In one day, there was 1.5 points moved. Line movement is when the line changes from one number to another number. And this is very interesting. I am beginning to like CU as a golden, not 5-star pick, but 3-star pick because of the line movement. Deion Sanders knowing that he has to win the next 2 games to be bowl eligible.
They won't.
They have to.
I know.
But so the number itself, I liked 5.5. 4 makes me nervous, but why did the line move? And this is what I think. The whale money, the big money, the smart money, the people that are doing this, that are on the inside, the ones that help make the line happen, when that line moves, usually it is smart money. And your thought on that?
I mean, yeah, it is smart money. I think CU can win the game outright.
Yeah.
Washington State's a winnable game, which they probably have circled for a while, but they also probably circled Stanford as well. And they fell flat. But I mean,
now,
all things considered, this is a massive success for CU this season.
So we're taking CU, taking the points.
Yeah.
You want to be conservative, buy a point or 2, but I'm saying with that line movement, I like CU. I think there's a chance they can win with that line movement.
Yeah.
Okay, next game is Chattanooga at Alabama. And Alabama is known for not covering, but not in this game. In this game, why are they going to cover 44 points? Well, because it's right before the big show. Am I correct, Joe?
Yeah.
that it's right before all that happens.
It's true, and there's a few like Patsy's games this weekend. I think hold on a second. Yeah, like Alabama's playing Chattanooga, and Ole Miss is playing Louisiana Monroe or something like that. Some pretty terrible games, and they're just setting themselves up for the championship games.
They want to look good.
Yeah, they want to look good. But 44.5, that's a big number.
It is a big number, but that helps me make it where I love that game. Alabama pretty much has not covered a bunch of minus 33s, 36s, stuff like that, right? They haven't covered.
It's true.
This is the game they cover.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
No, I'm just saying, well, maybe my new name.
I agree, because, did you watch the game last week?
Yeah.
Actually watch it, because their quarterback next year, place your bets for 2024 Heisman Trophy winner, because...
Yeah, Jaden is insane.
Yeah, he's going to win it next year.
One of the things that I'm doing here that's a little bit different than Joel and Mark, they know the teams, the players a little bit tighter than me, but I look for these anomalies, and that's why they call me Anomaly Man. And watch my predictions as you watch each week. You will see. I'm not going to be at 85%, but I am going to be between 65% and 75%, which makes a pro gambler in sports. Let's go to our next game. Next game, I'm looking at this. I love this game so much. And, you guys may not love it because it may be boring to you, but ECU at Navy, 31.5 total. What's the total now? It's 31.5 as of yesterday.
ECU and Navy, ESPN Bet says 31.5.
Okay, I love the under. I love the under. I love the under because these two teams will go under. Look at the anomaly. I don't see 31.5. I didn't see 31 or 28.5 last season. I don't know what's going on with these teams' defenses, but they are going to come alive on Saturday. What do you think of that?
No, I agree. I'm looking at their offenses, and that's some gnarly stuff going on there. The two starting quarterbacks combined for 8 touchdown passes all season. Like this is I like the under. Yeah, mark me down for another under, but I gotta disagree with you at some point, Anomaly Man.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I hit on my unders at 75%. So if I was to just bet all season on unders, you would see statistically that I'm hitting 3 out of 4.
He loves the unders, and you're right, because people hate betting the unders because it's not fun, because you can win the over by halftime, but you can't win the under until the final whistle.
Yeah, you can't cheer for someone to not score.
Yeah, right. Come on,
and that's the whole
Please
thing. But you actually can when you have big money on it, no question.
Yeah.
And a lot of old-time big gamblers know exactly what you just said, that everyone wants to see action. A lot of people are doing this just for fun. And the reality is the under is going to hit more. Actually, in all games played, if you looked at it statistically, more than 50%. It's going to go under more. Okay, our next game, I like Mississippi, Monroe at Mississippi. What do you think? It's a big number, 37.5.
Yeah, that's another one that sort of same realm as that Alabama Chattanooga game, because University of Louisiana Monroe, not so great there. Just 33.5. Was it 33?
37.5.
Yeah, Ole Miss stomps them. Yeah, why not? 48-3, something like that.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
That's going to happen.
Okay.
Now keep in mind.
So you're saying over?
No, we're talking about winning.
Over.
Mississippi minus 37.5.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I like that game.
Yeah.
Now, you've been talking about Air Force. Air Force laid an egg on one of our last games that you...
That Navy? Or
yeah,
I forget which one.
it was last week. And here's the thing. I think they're so freaked out that they come back. But the thing is...
They're playing a solid team this
That's
week.
the problem. And so I'd rather... I am not going to take the Air Force game. But it's a game, since you liked them so much... They laid an egg last week to a team that's not going to even be in their division again, right?
Yeah, I don't know if I say I like them a lot. I happened to bet on them a few times early in the year.
Okay, so maybe you don't want to. If you don't want to touch it,
I have no allegiance to them. I mean, but UNLV, man, I can't bet on UNLV football.
Yeah, that's weird.
Like, just on principle. Like, you with the blue field on last week.
Oh, I was right on the blue field of Boise State.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
I ended up buying 2 points to be safe. You know, they didn't blow them out huge, but they covered the 2 that I bought on that game.
Yeah.
Now, this game, I'm from L.A. I used to hang out in Westwood Village. What, have you ever been to Westwood Village where UCLA
I'm in
is?
Northern California.
So, Westwood Village has got restaurants and shops, and it's way LA. It's kind of like a lower version of Beverly Hills. UCLA USC is a big game. It is a huge game, and it's a game that I have no true opinion. I'm not a fan. You know, both teams, let's just say this. I played with chicks from both teams as I was a young person in LA. I mean, and I will say the USC chicks were more intricate when it came to, like, interesting fetishes. UCLA chicks were just kind of a little more dumb and happy to have some really rad sex. I mean, it was cool. So I love the girls of both teams, meaning the girls that root for UCLA and the girls that root for USC. I love them. Love them. USC is -6.5. What is your thought, Joel?
Well, I mean, that's hard to follow up right there.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're going off of girl quality...
No, we're just, I will
I
say...
didn't have lingerie league notes in here, but I'll take USC.
Yeah.
I like the beach look.
Oh, and if anyone, is watching and concentrating, if you want to see who I used to be, you can just YouTube up Pleasures Dudes. And it was another lifetime of mine. But let's go back to USC.
I like USC. I like USC better than UCLA.
But to cover the 6.5,
yeah,
I mean...
I think they've been laying a few eggs here lately against good teams, and this is just a good team.
What is UCLA's record?
7-4.
7-4.
7-4 versus 6-4. But USC's just the better team. They're well-rounded. Chip Kelly's about to be fired from UCLA. They're going to lay a huge egg.
Okay.
And Caleb Williams needs to remind NFL teams why he's the #1 pick and not Drake May from North Carolina.
And you truly know more about this game. But what I'm going to have to do is buy 1 point and take UCLA plus 7.5. And I just feel that on paper, UCLA does not look as good as USC, but when it comes to the gambling money, I see UCLA covering 7.5.
Okay.
But
I don't see that. I think UCLA's alright. I mean, but they lost to ASU, Arizona, and Oregon State. These are all solid teams, but USC's losses to Oregon, Washington, Notre Dame, Utah.
Let's just call it like this, okay? I believe that only in this specific case, because no other games will I grade like this today, but those UCLA cheerleaders are going to make UCLA Bruins cover 7.5 over USC. Those cheerleaders are going to make it happen. They are. Okay, next game.
Beautiful.
NFL. Let's talk now.
Yeah, NFL. I like NFL better.
Joel's better at NFL than me. So let's start, and this is interesting. Of course we haven't discussed that, the world is in a very unusual place. Today is November 15th or 16th? 16th, 2023. A very strange, unusual place. I moved to Denver about 25 years ago. I'm not a Broncos fan because I didn't grow up as a kid as a Broncos fan. I am a gambling fan. I am a sports gambling fan. Now, the Broncos have won 2 very interesting games in a row. Kansas City they beat, and now they beat the Bills in Buffalo.
Let me just stop you right there because we must give some props to this dude over here last week, calling straight up win and almost nailing the score.
And almost missing by 1 point.
That was sick. That was sick.
Come on.
Totally sick.
I know my Broncos.
So,
That's about it.
So I want to hear your both opinions on them winning two games in a row against good teams when they looked like to start the season like a real joke. What is your opinion?
Bronco fan, what happened?
One thing that makes me a little bit nervous, excited and nervous. What's the biggest thing that's changed in the last few weeks? The defense, clearly. What also has changed with the defense? Kareem Jackson's been out. He got suspended. He went out, and all of a sudden our defense started playing a different game. Now, can one man really have that kind of effect on an entire defensive unit? I don't know. I mean, he's a big guy. He's a dominant presence, but clearly there was something going on in the locker room, I think, with him. So I'm excited to see him back. I'm hoping that he brings the heat and the thunder, and I hope that our defense stays the way it is. Defenses win championships. You can argue with me all you want to, but defenses win championships. I mean, not that we're winning any championships this year, but...
Not this year.
Our defense changed when Jackson went out. I think some things, they had to look at a different scheme. You're seeing a lot of different schemes that we didn't see before. So, yeah, I like... there's no reason to believe it's going to slow down now. I mean, Minnesota, we should walk right through Minnesota this week, so...
Dude, Josh Dobbs for MVP. That guy's amazing.
Yeah,
And your thought?
he is. I mean, he is, and this will be a true test. Like, let's see. Our secondary had a slow start to the season. They weren't getting it done. They've started to wake up, so like you said with Dobbs, we'll see how it's going to come down to our secondary holding up, and, let's see what Surtain can do back there.
And the spread on that is 1.5?
2.5 to Denver.
Minus 2.5 Denver. Or plus 2.5.
No, Denver's minus 2.5, so they're
Okay,
favored.
they were 1.5 as of yesterday.
Yeah.
So they have, okay, I love that line movement. I'm telling you, people that are watching this that are learning, let me tell you something right now. 1 point in 1 day in line movement can mean a lot.
Yep.
I love the Broncos in this game. And Joel, your thought?
I don't. Justin Jefferson's coming back.
Yeah. I mean, that's what's kind of, which is a big deal, especially with Dobbs playing as well as he is.
Yeah, I mean, look at
what Hawkinson did last week, too. Hawkinson, over 30 points in fantasy football last week, 32, I think. The guy's an absolute tank. Like you said, you're getting Jefferson back.
I'm taking Minnesota plus 2.5.
So you're taking Broncos.
I'm taking Denver.
Especially if that line keeps moving in that direction, maybe I'll just wait until Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon. Maybe it'll be up to 3.5.
Right, but the line is moving because maybe the smart money is being bet on the Broncos.
It could be.
Okay.
But maybe the smart money will move it up to become dumb money.
Okay,
right.
so...
The smart money's right now at 2.5.
Okay.
And then it'll be dumb money when it's 3.5.
So Mark and me are taking Broncos, and Joel is going to go the other way with Minnesota.
Because I love to hate on the Broncos. Not really. I'm indifferent towards the Broncos.
Sorry, half the 49ers are Broncos blood anyway, so...
Yeah, right.
Now,
Wait, isn't that the other way around? Because the Broncos... No, but doesn't that make them inherently 49ers blood since Shanahan was originally a Niner?
That is true, I guess.
Then the Broncos took the Niners blood, and now it's just full circle.
I have to go back to one other game. I guess we could save it for our golden picks.
No.
We'll save it for it's in college football.
Okay.
So I'll use it in my golden picks at the end. Our next pro game is going to be Tampa Bay at San Francisco. San Francisco was, as of yesterday, minus 11.5.
Oh, when it opened, it was 10.5. I jumped on that one, but it's 11.5 now. And Niners.
Niners in this game, crunch, big time. I could see them winning by 21.
Yeah, I agree. This could be a significant blowout, and fantasy football parlay wise, I look for McCaffrey to get in the end zone multiple times.
Oh yeah,
they don't have the lines out for that one yet, but I'm very interested to see what McCaffrey plus 2, plus 3 touchdowns is going to run, because he didn't get one last week, and I feel like he needs it.
That was unbelievable. I mean, it would have been the NFL record, and they 16 straight, and then they didn't get him in 17. Yeah.
It would have been.
Yeah, he's going to have like 5 or 17 touchdowns, like you predicted earlier.
Now, this is my favorite NFL game. My favorite, possibly most boring to watch, but in money, that's what talks. What do you think of Pittsburgh at Cleveland? Now, what is the line? I know that the over-under is 33.5.
The line is 1 for Cleveland.
Okay, I don't know who's going to win the game. I do know one thing. Both teams are going to make it like the most boring thing to watch, and it's going to be like as boring as it keeps getting. The money, I'm just seeing it coming in. And by the end, when there's 2 minutes left, and the score is 16-6, a total of 22, I'm going to be going, yeah, I'm getting some more money. Beautiful.
So you're
Love
taking-
it. Under 33.5, not buying any points.
I can see that. I mean, Watson's out for the year now.
Under 33.5. Oh.
33.5.
Yep.
The total's 33
No,
and a
it's
half.
32 and a half.
Pittsburgh and Cleveland going under. Going under.
It's 32 and a half right now, by the way.
Okay.
Because Watson's out.
You don't want to touch that Bengals-Ravens game, huh?
No,
17
because
and a half.
either team could win. And they're all doing this flipping thing. One team will win, then the next week.
That
There's no
division's tough.
consistency. It's like the Twilight Zone in football. It's kind of like the way the world's going. NFL has been weird this year, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's been a little bit non-consistent. I remember when you just knew good teams were good, you know.
Yeah.
And keep in mind that next Wednesday, our 4th podcast will come out, and we will be talking about Thanksgiving and the games and the food. And we'll be talking about some great college games that Saturday. Am I right, Joel?
For the following, yeah, absolutely. They got
Next
the whole
week.
slate,
Next
yeah.
week.
Mm-hmm.
Next
They have
next
multiple days
week,
with
yeah.
the games.
And you know what? We're giving away a prize. So if you subscribe, and we can see who you guys are that we're teaching some cool stuff to, I'm going to give a $50 prize on next week's podcast, and I will show what it is, and you'll get to see it, and we'll just mail it out to the winner, and the winner's going to be who comments the best. Whether you hate us or love us, we're going to make you money if you follow us. Now, our next game is New York Giants at Washington, and what is the number on that? I know the over-under is 36.5. What's the spread number?
We got the spread at 9.5 for Washington with the over/under at 37.5.
Oh, so it went to 37.5.
Yeah, I guess so.
So it went. So when something does that, instead of going down, that makes me nervous. And 36.5 is not that low of a number. I'm actually not going to touch that game. I thought I was. Do you like that game in any way?
No, and here's 2 reasons why. First, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't have a real good feeling. And 2, if I don't have any money involved, I don't have to follow it or watch that dog crap game at all, and that will make my Sunday a little bit better.
More enjoyable.
Yeah.
I'd rather rake.
Yeah, like I want to watch a good game with money on the line, something that's enjoyable, not a undrafted quarterback and a terrible team.
What do you think of Arizona? Arizona, Houston? I think Houston -5.
Yeah, I like it to be at least a close game.
I think so. I think
Murray looked pretty good last week.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Murray's back. Houston's hot right now. They're really warming up.
Houston
Strauss,
killed me
Woods is
last
coming
week.
back.
So what?
Yeah.
It's Houston -5 against.
But against Arizona with Murray back,
Is it home?
I could see that game being
Dropped
a
to
field goal.
Dropped to 4.5.
You know what I'm going to do is on that game.
It's an interesting one.
Houston looked so good. I'm going to go Houston money line. It's about -170. Just take it as that, and know that the spread they may not cover, but in the end, I believe Houston's going to have the motivation to win.
Yeah.
I'll do something separate. I'll do the over on that one. 48.5. I could see 7 touchdowns combined between those two. I mean, sheesh, the way Houston scores, like it could be a shootout as long as they don't get too skewed at the beginning.
You said it over?
Yeah, let's do over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, before we give our golden picks, let's hear Mark's fantasy football update for this week.
All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Few things. Again, we're getting a little later in the season, so as always, looking at some deep sleepers. Some things to know. Start with quarterbacks. If you're looking, he's been hit or miss this year, but I know the last couple weeks he's starting to warm up. Jordan Love, Green Bay versus the Chargers. I like him. I think he's probably good for at least 15, 20 points this week. Green Bay's pretty healthy. Again, Stroud from Houston. If I don't know why he would be available at this point, but if you do have him, definite start. Again, last 3 weeks, 12 points, 49 points, 21 points. The guy's an absolute monster. Not only that, Woods is coming back this week. So some other names, Matthew Stafford's coming back this week, so you might have had him stashed on your bench. He could very well be a waiver because he was hurt, so keep an eye out for him. Moving on to some running backs. Let's see, Kenneth Gainwell from Philly versus Kansas City. They're going to need pretty much everyone that they can summon up as far as the Eagles go to get through KC, and Gainwell's been trending well the right direction, getting the ball. I think last week had like five or six carries. So he's looking good, like I said. Let's see who else we got. Zach Charbonnet is out snapping Walker with Seattle. Seattle's kind of had a bit of an issue with their running backs going back and forth. So if Charbonnet is available, he's a good start this week in deeper leagues. Again, these are all deeper league guys. Tyjae Spears, 50% of the snaps with Tennessee behind Derrick Henry. He's a great handcuff just because they run Henry so much he needs a rest. So take out Tyjae Spears. That's pretty much it. Wide receivers, not a ton. Palmer's injured, so I got Jalen Gayton from Detroit. They're saying he should have a pretty big game with, like I said, with Palmer being injured. So other than that, that's pretty much all I got for now.
Cool.
Okay, golden pick time. My golden picks, and next week, remember, it's coming out Wednesday. Gamblers Hub, that's us. Todd, Joel, Mark. We're going to be making big picks for the Thanksgiving holiday weekend and giving a $50 prize that I will show. So subscribe, help us out. We just want to grow, teach some people. We're not trying to make money yet, but we're going to give you information that's going to help you make a little more money. Take what you like. Don't take it all, but if it somehow clicks with you, oh, they like that, I like that, that makes sense, it might make you money. So I have two picks, golden 5-star winners. Like my winner last week, Iowa, with the under. 22 total points in that game. The over-under total was 28.5. 28.5. Now, this week, I go right back to the same thing. I'm going straight back to Illinois at Iowa. Totals 30.5. Go under. Buying no points. Straight up golden pick. And in the NFL, I'm going again with the boring, but it's the money. Pittsburgh at Cleveland, under 33.5. Buying no points. If you want to buy points to play it safe, buy a couple points. But I'm not. And those two are my golden picks. And you, Joel?
My golden picks I'll do one for the college, and we talked about this last week, which was Georgia, and we were saying how Georgia doesn't cover. I was saying they're the best team, probably going to win the championship, but they don't cover. And then on Saturday afternoon, I had this moment of clairvoyance, and it was Georgia is finally going to do it. They're going to put this NFL roster that they have to full force, and they sure did. They whipped the shit out of Ole Miss. Yep. And they're going to do it again this week at Tennessee. They're not that good. They're
and what's the number?
10. They're going to win by 20 easy.
Okay.
So Georgia minus 10. Lock that down. And we'll go back to NFL, which is my jam. And Chargers. Chargers minus 3 at Green Bay. The epitome of a mediocre team, Green Bay. And Chargers are good. Sneaky pick, by the way. I mean, this is a long shot, so not your jam. But Chargers to win the NFC West right now is plus 1,700. And they still play the Chiefs twice. They're only 3 games behind them. And the Chiefs have a darn tough schedule to go the rest of the way. Yeah. It's a sneaky pick. It's obviously a long shot. That's why it's plus 1,700. But just something to keep in your back pocket if you're feeling a little frisky. And then last but not least is my Niners. I mean, like we touched on it earlier. 11.5 doesn't scare me. 13.5 wouldn't scare me.
This could be their year.
It could be.
Niners in the Super Bowl.
I mean, they thrashed Jacksonville, and Jacksonville's good.
Yeah, they're not bad at all this year. I mean, they're right there in the mix.
Yeah, so
that whole division is starting to shape up pretty interesting.
Yeah, indeed.
I mean, with Houston, Jacksonville. I mean, it's
Indianapolis looks pretty good. Yeah.
The crazy thing, just jumping back real quick. I was looking at this earlier. When you look at Houston's schedule, and you talk about fantasy football, Stroud, Woods coming back, or just from a betting standpoint, this is Houston's schedule moving forward. Arizona, Jacksonville, Denver, the Jets, Arizona again. Tennessee.
Wait, they can't play Arizona twice.
No, not AZ. That's a no. Yeah, AZ, Jacksonville, Denver, Jets, Tennessee.
There you go.
And then it doesn't get any harder from there. Those are just the ones I wrote down.
Right.
Yeah.
Like Houston's got an absolute runway to take this thing. So if you're throwing some money around, take a look at Houston.
Yeah, Houston win the division. That might be a good one.
Yep.
So thank you for watching Gamblers Hub. This is me, Todd.
Joel.
Mark.
And we appreciate it. We'd love you guys to like, subscribe. Next week we're coming out on Wednesday. That's Thanksgiving week. And I'm going to give out a $50 prize that I'll show you guys. It's going to be really cool. And so we're out of here. We are the Gamblers Hub guys.